it's been a beautiful thing to watch them come together. I wasn't there for the moment that they met or anything. We just knew that there was a girl named Liz who he was starting to see, and so quickly it was obvious that she was going to be his life partner.
Yvonne had a dream that Elizabeth would marry someone tall, dark, and handsome. But when Grant was first introduced to us by Elizabeth, I think it was at Agricola restaurant in Princeton, and he comes in, and we'd seen him some pictures, really, but then we really hadn't seen him in person. And then Yvonne kind of, oh, tall, dark, and handsome. But shortly after, we knew, as it's been mentioned many times tonight, beautiful couple. Beautiful couple.
She was actually on a business trip in Malibu, I believe, and so he flew in. He had a few days off, and he flew in, and they had dinner, and then he decided to go for a stroll. He wanted to go up and see the stars, I believe he told her, up to the top of Point Doom. So he actually went through the whole proposal, and he was so composed in the most difficult conditions, didn't waver at all, and he got down on his hands and knees, and it was darling. It was just so darling.
Elizabeth, I give you this ring as a symbol of my vow, and with all that I am,
and all that I have, I honor you. In the name of the Father,
and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Frankly, she's very different from Grant in a lot of ways, personality-wise. You know, they just complement each other.
I'm sisterless. I have no sister. And it comes as no surprise to me that the majority of people here tonight have approached me and say, oh my God, I didn't know Liz had a sister. Neither did I. So not only do I have a sister nowadays, in case you didn't catch that, I mean, I got a sister, we look the same. I'm also celebrating my sister's happiness, but I'm also celebrating the extension of my family, because I gained a brother-in-law that I didn't know I wanted, that I didn't know I'd ever have, but like, I can't imagine it any other way.
Daddy and I love you with all our hearts, and we are here for you, and we are so extremely proud of you and just the people that you are and what you have become as adults, young adults, and what an incredibly beautiful, bright, spectacular future they have. Oh, the morning has been an absolute delight. Absolute delight.
Thank you so much. You're so beautiful.
Well, it started out with Elizabeth and I snuggling and talking a little bit about her as a little girl and to this point in her life, and I'm just beyond ecstatic. So it's been an absolutely fabulous morning. And to see all the girls together, getting ready together, having fun, and just enjoying every moment.
To my darling bride, the day has finally arrived when we profess our love and commitment to one another before God and family. From here on, we begin our next chapter together daily, choosing each other above all else. Today will be a celebration unlike any other, but today is also just another day that I get to show you how much you mean to me. I am excited that I can proudly call you my wife, and I am honored to hold your heart with mine. Love forever and always, Grant.
You kind of feel like you've been caged up for the day. But the beautiful thing about that time is that you really, especially as the guys, don't have a whole lot to do except kind of talk about the meaningful stuff that's about to be in front of you. I mean, this is a huge day. And so just kind of having that, knowing that it's coming, you know, we've got 3 hours to go, we've got 2 hours to go. It just sort of builds this anticipation, and you have some meaningful conversations that you just might not, were you not crammed into a room together.
Dear Grant, today is the day. We're finally getting married. You are truly a dream to me. Not only are you wildly handsome, smart, and talented, I guess a little funny too, you are also a dedicated and caring family man who is incredibly loyal to those you care deepest about. Our marriage will have many peaks and valleys, and we will have trying times that will test our love and patience for another. This is okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It means we're doing things right by choosing to grow stronger together. Despite challenges we will face, I promise to choose you today and every day until my last.
Don't you look beautiful?
I tried.
So we can.
Oh, I love the Texas.
Oh.
Did you get my card?
Okay.
I know
it's
don't cry.
It's
But
like-
this is so if you want to cry, you have something.
Grant is just a beautiful, gentle giant in every way. I mean, my husband and I could not be more ecstatic about him. He's kind, he's patient, he is super funny, he is super talented, and like I've said to Elizabeth, he's your yin to your yang, or your yang to your yin, and he's the sugar and she's the spice, and I mean, it is just absolutely, the two of them together are beyond delightful. He just is the nicest young man, the nicest young man. We could not have asked for anyone better than this young man. He is a great, great person, inside and out. So yeah, he has been so good for her, so good for her.
Don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die. And there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us. Grant and Elizabeth, in just a moment, you are going to make vows, promises, a covenant. It is a sacred and wonderful thing. What you are about to promise is that you will stay together for the rest of your lives. You are saying to each other, I'm not going anywhere. And I say, that's a beautiful thing you're about to do.
Friends, good evening and welcome. We gather today to celebrate the joining together of Elizabeth Marion Perry and Grant Lewis Farmer. You have come here to witness the vows they make to one another, to pledge your love and support to their union, and to allow Elizabeth and Grant to begin their married life together, surrounded by those dearest and most important to them. As Elizabeth and Grant commit their lives to one another, families are formed, friendships are forged and strengthened, and a new community of love is formed. Marriage is a visible sign of unity in a broken world. Marriage can be a haven from the storms of life, a place of refuge and lodging. And it is into this holy estate that Grant and Elizabeth come now to be joined.
I, Grant, take you, Elizabeth, to be my wedded wife, and I do promise and covenant before God and these witnesses to be your loving and faithful husband.
In plenty and in want, in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, as long as we both shall live.
We ask, O God, that you would continue to nurture Elizabeth and Grant as they begin their married life this day. In their life together, may kindness, generosity, grace, and forgiveness mark their days. May their devotion be limitless, their forgiveness expansive, and their dreams audacious.
our heart is so full, and we feel so thankful for him and for her and the couple that we can see them being now and far into the future as they grow old together.
Well, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you all so much for coming and supporting and being present for this beautiful, beautiful union. Elizabeth, ever since she was very young, she seemed fearless. When she was little, we were at the beach and we lived in Florida. She'd kind of want to wander off and go see what the other families are doing. Oh, gotta go get her. And restaurants. She'd want her food first. She'd want to get down and go see what everybody else is doing. And then as time went on and she became a performer, it always looked that she was just fearless. Get up there, didn't seem to have any problems. Well, then it's like, oh, well, yes, you looked when you're performing, you look like you're just so comfortable up there. Oh, no, I'm terrified. But it's not just fearlessness. She's brave. She's someone who works to conquer her fear. And that's one of the most admirable qualities I've found in Elizabeth. From the moment she was an infant till today, and it never ceases. She's fearless, and she's most of all brave.
I've lived my whole life wanting a sister. I have wanted someone to share makeup with, to share clothing with, to share a bathroom with. It took me 10 weddings to become maid of honor, 25 years to find somebody that I think is a sister through and through. I mean, you guys know this about Liz. When she walks into something, she fills it up. She walks into this room and it is filled with people. She walks into any room at all and it is filled with jokes and joy and laughter and friendship and hair. I mean, there's just a lot that she does. There's a lot that she does for me and everyone that she comes in contact with. There's truly no one on this planet like Elizabeth Perry.
Grant is a guy who just sort of fills the room. You know, he has a huge voice, he's tall, and people notice him. He's a choir director, and so it means that he is kind of used to, you know, getting a crowd going, and he kind of thrives on that. Interestingly, it feels like Liz sometimes is that same way. They have sort of big personalities. And, you know, I think you could look at them and think, well, are they almost too similar? But the more that I've gotten to know them, the more I really do see that they just perfectly balance each other. Grant is stable when things are a little crazy for Liz and vice versa. And so they just seem a perfectly matched pair. Grant was a high school choir director, as many of you in this room are. So he told his kids at Wilson Central High School that he was leaving. And they were so upset. I mean, as you all probably know, if you know Grant, he is charisma times 10, and people are just drawn to him. So these kids are upset. You know, it was like the end of their lives, and they're crying. They're this last concert they have in this little auditorium. So Grant finishes up. Of course, he's really challenged them with the music, but they get through it. They're proud of themselves. They're sort of giving hugs. And then Grant, unbeknownst to us in the audience, sort of goes back, grabs his bottle of water, takes a swig, comes out, and the piano starts playing. And he starts to sing this song from Ragtime. And I'm sitting next to Emily and Wesley. I went back and watched the video last night, and you could hear us. It was like a movie moment, and Grant and Liz are both made for those. The beautiful thing is that night was a solo, and tonight was a duet. And it seems like pretty good bookends on that chapter. The thing that I think is beautiful is I think them having to kind of already bounce around, find their way in a new place, has brought them together, as it would anyone, in a way that nothing else could. That you have to make your own family and your presence there. And so I like to think, it's kind of like home is now wherever each of them is. I don't know where that's going to be, but I'm not really worried about it because they just have each other to lean on.
Thank you to all of you who came, and thank you especially for all the different roles that you have played in our lives. Some of you are family, some of you are friends, some of you are teachers, some of you are colleagues. You have raised us in many ways, and you have brought us together in many ways. And we cannot be more grateful for your role in our lives.
They're both so fabulous as people, beyond talented. They're so engaging, they're so loving, and they just are, I have never met two people so perfectly matched. They just have so much joy and so much patience with one another, and their communication skills are beyond anything I have ever seen before.
Grant, I see so much in you, what we see in our father, the way he's cared for Mom. And I want to say that this is a beautiful night. I mean, it's maybe the most beautiful night of my life, okay? And I'm not sitting on your side of the table. But in 50 years, there are going to be beautiful days too. And they may be hard, but they will be just as beautiful because you guys care for each other. And so, I want to ask that all of you raise your glasses and give a toast to the great Elizabeth and Grant Farmer. Cheers. Liz, you have really brought out a side of Grant that we haven't quite seen. You are very direct. And sometimes in our family, we skirt around the thing that's going on. And you just sort of face it head on. And Grant's a different person because he's in a relationship with you. And it's just a lovely thing when your life partner changes you in a way that makes you a better person.
As you know, there's always a lot of behind-the-scenes things, but you're getting to see it in front of your face. Just take it all in and soak it up, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. But usually you can be like, thanks.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like it. It's got a little heart too.
The ways that she'll say this is that it's until the very end, but she gets to choose when the end is.
Right.
She said she'll put me in the ground.
To my bride on our wedding day. Oh, this is going to be hard to read. It's no longer a dream or a list of tasks to... What does that say? We're going to make it up. The something of loving you isn't easy. The task of loving you is an easy one. You have a spirit of... You have a spirit of something, energy and intensity. His handwriting's really hard to read. You are a friend, loyal and dedicated partner. You are a friend. Oh goodness. Love forever and always, Grant. And then you wrote #blessed because that's what I always tell him every day. I'm always like, but you're blessed, just so you know, #blessed.
She is elegant and strong, poised yet exuberant. I can see Elizabeth's goddess and warrior character in her clear blue eyes. Of course, sometimes those same eyes can put the icy fear of God in me.
Well, this is rolling, so whatever you guys want to say to each other.
I love you so much. You're the sweetest little turd I've ever known. No, I'm kidding.
For my note.
Meanwhile, still rolling.
Oh, sorry.
We're rolling, talking about our future.
Our future is bright and shiny, and
We're not good at this kind of stuff.
When the sky is falling down, nothing is greater than this, greater than this.
You guys filming anything?
Yeah, they're singing.
But no one knows. No, it's okay.
we're fine.